How does being the sexiest man alive find love?
It's very lonely. Finding the right person to understand, all of me, but then all that comes with me as well. Bringing them into my world and what I got going on isn't easy. It's not just, I love you, you love me, that should be enough, right? It's not quite that simple.
Michael B. Jordan, one of Hollywood's biggest names right now, an Oscar-winning actor.
God is good. God is good.
A guy who's owned the screen in hit after hit, and someone fans can't stop talking about. He checks every box: success, looks, confidence, and serious talent. So how does a man like this still end up solo? That's the question everybody keeps asking. Why is one of the most wanted men in the industry still single?
Finding the right person to understand, all of me, but then all that comes with me as well. And understanding that balance between wanting to be available and there for that person while I'm juggling everything else. And, there's sacrifice and compromise that comes with a partnership and a relationship. And understanding how to make that all work is sometimes gives me anxiety.
From his powerful roles in Creed and Black Panther to directing Creed 3, Michael isn't just playing the game, he's leveling it up. He's breaking limits and building a legacy that stands out in a crowded industry. But even with all the wins, all the praise, and all eyes on him, one thing keeps slipping through his hands: real, lasting love. Even after hitting the top with major awards and headline-making relationships, including his time with Lori Harvey, people still can't stop wondering, is true love just not his moment yet? Is it something he's still figuring out behind the scenes? Is it timing, old heartbreak, or something deeper nobody really sees? His dating history hasn't been smooth, and every relationship adds more layers to the story. Now the spotlight is even sharper, and everyone's trying to crack the mystery. Why doesn't Michael B. Jordan have a wife yet? Welcome to Fame Thunder. Hit subscribe right now, drop a comment, and don't stay quiet. Everyone's got something to say, so let it out. From low-key beginnings to full Hollywood takeover, Michael B. Jordan has become one of the most desired actors and eligible bachelors out there right now. With that sharp physique, smooth confidence, and real acting skill, he's got millions locked in. But way before Creed made him a superstar or Black Panther had everyone talking about him, he was just a regular kid chasing something bigger. Born Michael Bakari Jordan on February 9, 1987 in Santa Ana, California, he came into the world raised by Donna and Michael A. Jordan. And no, not the basketball legend. This Michael Jordan was building a whole different kind of legacy. As the middle child, with an older sister Jamila and younger brother Khalid, he grew up in a tight family where everyone played their role. Even though he was born in California, that sunny vibe didn't last long. His family made a big move across the country to Newark, New Jersey. And that's where things really started shaping him. Newark wasn't soft, and it wasn't always easy. He had to stay sharp, learn fast, and understand the environment around him. But through all of that, his home life stayed solid, and that made all the difference. His mom, Donna, worked as an educator at Newark Arts High School, a place full of creativity, talent, and young dreamers trying to make something happen. That energy was everywhere, and it slowly started rubbing off on him too. Still, acting wasn't even on his radar at first. He wasn't thinking about cameras or red carpets yet. He was just outside playing basketball, living like any other kid in the neighborhood. But his mom noticed something different in him, something that stood out, and she pushed him to explore it. That's when he started modeling, working with brands like Modell's, Sporting Goods, and Toys R Us. Picture that for a second. A young kid smiling in store ads, not even knowing he was on his way to becoming a global star seen on covers like GQ and Time. The move from modeling into acting wasn't even part of some big master plan, it just kind of happened. At only 12 years old, Michael started landing small roles on major TV shows like Cosby and The Sopranos. It wasn't headline stuff yet, but it was his foot in the door, and that's all he needed to get going. Then came a moment that changed everything, even if he didn't realize it at the time. In 2002, he took on the role of Wallace in HBO's The Wire, and that role hit hard. If you've seen the show, you already know Wallace's story sticks with you. It was emotional, raw, and honestly tough to watch at times. Even as a young teen, Michael delivered a performance that people still talk about to this day. But things didn't just blow up overnight for him. He had to stay on the grind, keep showing up to auditions, and prove himself again and again. No shortcuts, no easy wins, just straight effort and patience. In 2003, he stepped into a totally different lane by joining the soap opera All My Children. It wasn't gritty like The Wire, but it gave him something just as important: steady work and real experience for 3 years. Even with consistent work, Michael still wasn't a household name yet. He kept popping up on shows like CSI, Crime Scene Investigation, Cold Case, and Without a Trace. He stayed working, sharpening his skills, and waiting for the right moment to really break through. That moment started building in 2009 when he landed the role of Vince Howard in Friday Night Lights. And this wasn't just another TV role. This was something deeper. The show wasn't just about football. It was about pressure, survival, and pushing through when life hits hard. His character Vince carried all of that weight, and Michael made it feel real. Moving to Austin, Texas for filming was a big shift, but it paid off in a major way. This role let him show range, emotion, and depth, proving he wasn't just another good-looking actor trying to get by. He was serious about his craft, and people started noticing. Then, in 2010, he stepped into Parenthood, playing Alex, the boyfriend of Hattie Braverman. This role brought a different kind of intensity, dealing with heavy topics like addiction and trying to turn your life around. Once again, Michael delivered a performance that felt honest and grounded, pulling viewers in and making them care about every step of the journey. At this stage, Michael B. Jordan wasn't just blending into the background anymore. He was stepping up and making people pay attention. He kept moving smart, taking on all kinds of roles, from voicing a character in the video game Gears of War to appearing in indie films like Blackout. By 2012, the industry wasn't sleeping on him anymore. They were watching closely. Then came Chronicle, a sci-fi thriller about 3 teens who suddenly gained powers. And this wasn't just another role for him. This was a real turning point. The movie took off, and Michael stood out in a big way. People started asking, who is this guy? And suddenly, his name was everywhere. That same year, he showed up in Red Tails, a film backed by George Lucas, telling the story of the Tuskegee Airmen. This wasn't just another project. It carried history, meaning, and pressure, and he stepped into it with focus and respect. He also made a strong guest appearance on House, playing a blind patient in an episode that stuck with viewers. And even with all that momentum, this wasn't the peak. It was just the start of something much bigger. Michael B. Jordan was shifting from up-and-coming to someone the industry couldn't ignore. But the road wasn't smooth. There were challenges, criticism, and intense physical demands that came with leveling up. Still, he didn't slow down for a second. In 2013, he stepped into a role that changed everything, playing Oscar Grant in Fruitvale Station, directed by Ryan Coogler. That performance hit deep, and it showed the world he wasn't just talented, he was powerful on screen in a way that couldn't be overlooked. The film told the heartbreaking true story of a young black man shot by a police officer in Oakland, and it hit hard. Michael didn't just play the role, he felt it, and you could see it in every scene. His performance was emotional, heavy, and impossible to ignore. Critics started comparing him to a young Denzel Washington, and The Hollywood Reporter even called his acting haunting and powerful. That's when people really woke up. He wasn't just another actor trying to make it anymore. He became someone the industry had its eyes on, and the recognition came fast. That same year, Time magazine named him one of the 30 people under 30 changing the world. Then People magazine and Variety labeled him the next big thing, while GQ called him one of the breakout stars of 2013. His name was everywhere, and the pressure was building. But success doesn't always come easy, and the next move didn't go the way people expected. After Fruitvale Station, everyone thought he was about to rise nonstop. So when he got cast as Johnny Storm, also known as the Human Torch in Fantastic Four 2015, it looked like a major win on paper. Big franchise, big spotlight. What could go wrong? Turns out, a lot went wrong. The movie crashed hard. Critics weren't feeling it, audiences weren't impressed, and it ended up with a rough 9% score on Rotten Tomatoes. And Michael didn't just deal with the film flopping, he also faced backlash over the casting itself, with some fans upset about a black actor playing Johnny Storm, which sparked a lot of unnecessary noise. But he didn't fold under that pressure, not even close. He took the hit, learned from it, and kept moving forward. And then came the comeback that changed everything. In 2015, he reconnected with Ryan Coogler for Creed, stepping into the role of Adonis Creed, the son of Apollo Creed from the legendary Rocky series. And this wasn't something he took lightly at all. He trained like a real fighter for nearly a full year. Strict diet, intense workouts, no stunt doubles, no shortcuts. He stepped into that ring for real, and when the movie dropped, it landed like a punch you couldn't ignore. Creed was a massive success, and Michael finally locked in his spot as a true leading man. But even with that huge win, this was just the start. Things were about to get even bigger for him. In 2018, Michael stepped into the Marvel Cinematic Universe as Eric Killmonger in Black Panther. And let's be real, he didn't just show up, he took over the whole movie. Killmonger wasn't your typical villain at all. He had layers, pain, purpose, and a point of view that had people seriously thinking. Some viewers even walked out questioning everything like, was he actually wrong? Michael brought so much intensity and emotion to the role that it hit different. Forbes called his performance electrifying, while Business Insider went as far as saying he was the best villain Marvel had ever created. And just like that, Michael B. Jordan wasn't just a star anymore, but he didn't stop at acting. He wanted more control, more influence, and a bigger seat at the table. So back in 2016, he launched his own production company, Outlier Society Productions. This move wasn't random, it was strategic. He wanted to tell stories that actually matter, put new voices on, and create films that don't always get the spotlight in Hollywood. One of his early projects under the company was Just Mercy in 2019, where he played real-life attorney Brian Stevenson. The film took on serious issues around injustice in the legal system, and it earned strong respect from critics and audiences alike. And he didn't keep himself boxed into just movies either. He stepped into the gaming world, voicing Justice Young in NBA 2K17 and Julian Chase in Genlock, always expanding, always moving. Then in 2023, he leveled up again by directing Creed 3. Not only was he the lead on screen, but he was also running things behind the camera. That's a different kind of power move. After Creed 3, he continued expanding his range with new projects like Sinners, a darker, more complex role that ultimately earned Michael B. Jordan an Academy Award in 2026.
And the Oscar goes to Michael B. Jordan.
This is the first Oscar win and nomination for Michael B. Jordan.
But even with all that, Michael wasn't done thinking bigger. His vision kept going beyond just films. In December 2022, Michael made a move that caught a lot of people off guard. He became a part owner of the English soccer club AFC Bournemouth, stepping into a whole new arena. He joined a group of investors led by American businessman Bill Foley, officially entering the world of sports ownership. Now people started asking, why soccer and why now? But if you look at his track record, it fits. He's always chasing the next big move and looking for ways to expand his influence. With a career moving this fast, it's not hard to see why settling down hasn't been simple. Relationships need time, energy, and real attention. But when you're training nonstop for Creed, filming major projects like Black Panther, running your own production company, and even investing in a soccer team, where does love even fit in? Michael B. Jordan is easily one of the most successful and desired men in Hollywood right now. He's got the talent, the money, the looks, and that charm people can't ignore. But when it comes to relationships, things just haven't stuck. Even after being linked to some of the most well-known and admired women, none of those relationships have gone the distance. So what's really going on behind the scenes? Is it timing, priorities, or something deeper people don't see? Let's start from the beginning. The first major dating rumors around Michael popped up back in 2012 when he was linked to Australian rapper Iggy Azalea. At that time, she was rising fast in the music world, and Michael was just starting his climb toward becoming a household name. Their names together got people talking, and that was just the start of the attention on his love life. So what really happened there? Turns out that whole situation might not have been real at all. Reports came out saying Iggy tweeted about Michael having a certain energy, and people ran with it fast. But when Michael got asked about it, he shut it down quick. In an interview with The Breakfast Club, he laughed it off and made it clear they were just in the same place at the same time when those photos were taken. No secret relationship, no hidden story. So was there ever something real between them? Honestly, it doesn't look like it went that far, but that was just the beginning of the attention on his love life. Things kept getting more interesting. In 2014, Michael was spotted on a beach in Miami getting close with model and social media personality Catherine Poss. The pictures had people talking heavy. They looked like more than just friends. But neither of them ever confirmed anything, keeping it all low-key and leaving fans guessing. Then years later, in 2021, things got a little uncomfortable. Catherine, now married to YouTuber Austin McBroom, was seen at a basketball game where she seemed to ignore Michael completely. Fans picked up on that energy right away, and it had people wondering, did whatever they had end on a bad note? Then came 2015, when Michael and Kendall Jenner sparked rumors after being seen leaving a Met Gala after party together. Of course, that was enough to get people talking instantly, but was it actually something real? Or just another moment blown out of proportion? When Michael addressed it, he kept it simple. They were friends, nothing more, but the real conversation online wasn't even about their connection. It turned into a bigger debate, with some fans reacting strongly to the idea of Michael dating a white woman, which brought a whole different kind of attention to the situation. A lot of fans had strong opinions about the Kendall situation, especially within the Black community. Some people were saying he should be dating a Black woman, and the conversation got loud fast. Michael addressed it in an interview with GQ saying, "I get it, but on the other hand, it's like relax. People can like one another, not necessarily from the same history or culture." He made it clear he wasn't trying to fit into anyone's expectations. So did all that pressure push him away from Kendall? Or was there never anything serious there in the first place? Honestly, it looks like it never got deep at all. Whatever it was, if it even was anything, it ended before it could really begin. By 2019, Michael was fully locked in as one of the biggest stars in the world. And for a moment, it looked like he might have found someone who matched his vibe. Actress Kiki Layne entered the picture when the two were spotted together at a nightclub during the Sundance Film Festival in Utah. According to reports, the energy between them was strong all night. They were laughing, talking, and clearly enjoying each other's company. At one point, Michael was even seen kissing her on the cheek. And that was enough to get people talking immediately. But just like some of the others, it didn't turn into anything long-term. After that night, they weren't seen together again. So what was it really? Just a fun night, a quick connection, or something that just didn't go further. Then there's the 2016 situation with real estate agent Gisele Bündchen-Nunes, which she later described as more of a situationship. They were involved in some way, but it never became official. And even years later, there were still hints that things between them didn't fully fade away. At one point, she reportedly wasn't too happy when a coworker tried to approach Michael about real estate, which made people raise eyebrows. It gave off that vibe of two people who never fully closed the chapter, but also never took it to the next level. Then in 2019, Michael appeared in Snow Allegra's music video, and things got people talking all over again. The chemistry, it was obvious. The two even shared a very convincing on-screen kiss that had fans questioning everything. But once again, Michael shut it down. He said he was just a big fan of her music and nothing more. Still, with moments like that, it's easy to see why people keep trying to connect the dots in his love life. Maybe he was being real about it. Or maybe he just didn't want to put a label on whatever that was. Either way, nothing there seemed to stick for long. In May 2020, Michael was spotted out at dinner with model Cindy Bruna, and people caught on fast. He had been liking a lot of her Instagram posts, and let's be honest, in celebrity world, that usually means something is going on. But just like a lot of the other situations, it didn't last. No big announcement, no clear ending. It just quietly faded out. That pattern kept repeating, and people started noticing. Looking at Michael B. Jordan's dating history, one thing stands out loud and clear. He's had options, a lot of them. He's been linked to models, actresses, musicians, and influencers. Some connections may have been real, others probably got exaggerated by the internet, but none of them turned into something long-term. Then everything shifted when one name entered the picture: Lori Harvey. This wasn't just another rumor people brushed off. When whispers started in November 2020 that he was dating Lori, the daughter of Steve Harvey, people paid serious attention. At first, they kept things low-key, but the cameras were already locked in. They were spotted arriving in Atlanta together right before Thanksgiving. And that instantly got people talking. Something about this felt different. Then a month later, they popped up again, this time in Salt Lake City, Utah. And even though they didn't post each other directly, the clues were there. Both of them shared photos of the snowy scenery, and fans quickly connected the dots. It was subtle, but not that subtle. By January 2021, there was no more guessing. Michael and Lori went public on Instagram, posting personal close-up photos that made it official. No more rumors. They were really together. And this caught people off guard because Michael had always been private about his relationships. He usually kept everything under wraps. So when he chose to share this one publicly, it made people wonder, what made Lori different? He admitted that he wanted to give the relationship a real shot by being open about it instead of hiding it away. And that right there said a lot. This didn't feel like one of those quick Hollywood flings, and this felt different. Michael looked genuinely happy, and people could see it. From the moment they went public, Michael and Lori were giving everyone exactly what they wanted to see. Real romance, real affection, and moments that looked like they came straight out of a movie. It wasn't forced, it wasn't hidden. It was right there in the open. When Lori celebrated her birthday that January, Michael went all out. He shared cute photos of them together in the snow and even revealed a personal nickname, Turtle. Lori later explained he called her that because she took her time getting ready. And that small detail made everything feel even more real. Even Steve Harvey, who's known for being super protective when it comes to his daughter, gave his approval. He joked on his radio show, saying he liked Michael, but still kept a section of his heart filled with pure hatred, just in case things went left. It was funny, but you could tell he respected him. Then Valentine's Day came around, and Michael didn't hold back at all. Instead of a regular dinner, he rented out an entire aquarium just for them. They walked through a private underwater tunnel surrounded by sea life, then sat down for an intimate dinner that looked unreal. That kind of date? That sets a whole different standard. By the time they hit their one-year anniversary in November 2021, everything looked solid. This wasn't just another celebrity relationship waiting to fall apart. It looked like something real, something lasting. At least, that's what everyone believed at the time. For a while, it really looked like nothing could break them. They were showing up strong, smiling, and completely in sync. In March 2022, they made their red carpet debut at the Vanity Fair Oscars after party, and they looked flawless together. Lori turned heads in a shimmering dress, and Michael stood right beside her, looking sharp and confident. Everything about them screamed power couple. But then, just 3 months later, everything fell apart. In June 2022, news hit that Michael and Lori had split, and people were shocked. It didn't make sense at first. How does something that looks so solid suddenly end like that? According to reports, the breakup hit Michael hard. He had grown during that relationship and reached a point where he was ready for something serious. For once, he had let his guard down and allowed himself to be fully open and vulnerable. But Lori wasn't in that same place. She cared about him, no doubt, but she wasn't ready to settle down. She had her own path, her own goals, and she was focused on building her brand and growing her skincare business. Independence mattered to her, and she wasn't ready to trade that for commitment just yet. It came down to timing, or maybe two people wanting different things at the same moment. Michael was thinking long-term, planning ahead, while Lori still wanted to enjoy life freely and move at her own pace. And when it ended, it really ended. Fans quickly noticed that Lori deleted all traces of Michael from her Instagram, and not long after, Michael did the same. Just like that, it was wiped clean, like they were both trying to move forward without looking back. When it comes to the Oscar moment, that's where the conversation really started heating up, because when Michael B. Jordan stepped into that spotlight, winning, shining, and reminding everyone exactly who he is, people instantly started connecting dots back to Lori Harvey. The timing? Yeah. People noticed that real quick. After his big moment, rumors began circulating that Lori tried to reach out to him following his success at the Oscars. Now, nothing was ever confirmed publicly, but the speculation alone had fans going crazy. Because if true, it would flip the whole narrative people had been running with since their breakup. And here's the part that really got attention. The idea that Michael didn't respond. No public acknowledgement, no hint of communication, nothing, just silence. And sometimes silence says more than anything else. Fans immediately started bringing back Lori's old statement, "She is the prize." That phrase came back fast, and this time people were looking at it from a completely different angle. Because now the question became, if she's the prize, why reach out after his biggest win? That's what had social media buzzing. Some people defended her, saying it's normal to congratulate someone you once cared about, especially during a huge milestone like the Oscars. Others weren't buying it at all. They felt like the timing looked too convenient, especially with Michael leveling up publicly. Meanwhile, Michael stayed exactly how he's been since the breakup. Quiet, focused, and not entertaining any of the noise. No interviews addressing it, no subtle posts, nothing, just work and success. And that contrast made everything feel even louder. Because while rumors were flying, he didn't give anything back. And for a lot of people watching, that felt intentional. It also showed how much he may have changed since that relationship ended. Before, he was open, expressive, and all in. Now, way more private, way more controlled, and clearly not quick to revisit the past. And let's be real, moments like the Oscars aren't small. That's career-defining energy. So if someone from your past suddenly reappears during that kind of high point, people are going to question the motive. Was it genuine support, a friendly check-in, or something more? Nobody outside that situation truly knows. But the speculation alone added a whole new layer to their story. And fans didn't stop there. Some even started saying this was Michael's silent response era. No words, just actions, leveling up, staying unbothered, and letting success speak for itself. At the same time, Lori continued standing on her confidence, her independence, and everything she built for herself. She never backed down from that "she is the prize" mindset, and that's part of what keeps the conversation so divided. Because now it's not just about who is right or wrong, it's about perspective. But one thing is clear, that Oscar moment didn't just celebrate Michael's success, it reopened a conversation people thought was already over. And even now, people are still watching closely, trying to figure out what really happened behind that silence. But moving on isn't always that simple, especially when real feelings were involved. For Michael, this wasn't just another breakup. This one hit deeper, and it changed things in a way people didn't fully see at first. Now it starts to make more sense why Michael B. Jordan doesn't have a wife. Lori Harvey simply wasn't ready for that next step. But what a lot of people didn't fully see was how deeply that situation affected him. This wasn't casual for him. For the first time, he really opened up, dropped his guard, and gave love a serious chance. He wasn't just dating, he was thinking long-term, picturing a future, and believing in something real. So, when it ended, it hit different. This wasn't just another Hollywood breakup, it was disappointment on a deeper level. The kind that makes you stop and question everything you thought was solid. In an industry where people move on fast and jump into the next headline relationship, Michael didn't follow that pattern. He wasn't chasing attention or quick distractions. He wanted something genuine, something that actually meant something. And when things with Lori didn't work out, it left him wondering if that kind of connection was even out there for him. After Lori, he did try to step back into the dating scene. In early 2023, rumors started linking him to UK model Amber Jepson. And honestly, it lined up. He had just become part owner of AFC Bournemouth, so he was spending more time in the UK. Sources even claimed the two were really keen on each other, and that people around him noticed a different kind of energy. There were signs he might have been excited again, but just like before, it didn't last. The rumors came in fast and disappeared just as quickly. Nothing ever became official, nothing serious ever came out of it. Maybe the timing still wasn't right, or maybe after everything he went through, he became more guarded, more careful about who he lets into his life, because once you've opened up like that and it doesn't work out, it's not so easy to just jump back in like nothing happened. By the time Michael showed up on the On Purpose with Jay Shetty podcast, you could tell something in him had shifted. The energy was different, more serious, more reflective. And when he was asked about the best and worst parts of his life, his answer hit deeper than people expected. He admitted that despite all the fame, success, and recognition, the hardest part was the loneliness that comes with it. He said, "There's a loneliness that I have." So I think the worst part of that is feeling like nobody really understands and sometimes falling into the spaces of just being alone. That wasn't just talk, that was real. And this wasn't only about his career, it connected to his love life too. When Jay Shetty jokingly asked how the sexiest man alive could struggle with relationships, Michael didn't dodge it. He laughed and said, "I revert back to the last question. It's very lonely." That response said everything without saying too much. He opened up about how relationships aren't easy at his level. They take sacrifice, compromise, and a level of understanding that not everyone can handle. And for him, that pressure brings anxiety. That's a side people don't always see when they're watching from the outside. At this point, he understands that love isn't just about attraction or chemistry. It's about finding someone who can truly handle the reality of his life, the pressure, the attention, and everything that comes with being Michael B. Jordan. So now the question is he just unlucky in love? Or is his focus on success making it harder for something real to grow? Drop your thoughts in the comments and don't forget to subscribe for more.